Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Good afternoon. On the national news this hour from Babarbagide Imo Television, first day headlines. 5 on board as NAV helicopter crashes in Port Harcourt. Jigawa to recruit 1,124 health workers. Nigerian UK-based nurse reportedly sacked, deported for praying for patients. Kwara Monarch, 2 others bagged life imprisonment for kidnapping. On sports, NFF at loggerheads with Super Eagles coach for turning down Freiburg goalkeeper in favor of Uzoho. I am Morire Trebila Lawal, the news in detail. A Nigerian Air Force helicopter crashed in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, on Friday morning. NAV spokesman Edward Gapwat confirmed the development in a statement. He said all those on board survived, though they sustained minor injuries. The helicopter with the number NAV MI-35P crashed at exactly 7:45 a.m. shortly after it took off for an operation against economic saboteurs in River State. Fortunately, the entire crew of 5 survived the crash with minor injuries and are currently being attended to at NAV Medical Center, Port Harcourt. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, is currently en route to Port Harcourt to assess the situation for himself, see to the well-being of the crew, and give further directives, the statement read partly. The Jigawa government has approved the recruitment of 1,124 health workers previously engaged as casual workers under its J-Health program. This is contained in a statement signed by Mr. Sagir Musa, the Commissioner for Information, Youth and Sport and Culture, in Friday in Duse. He said the State Executive Council approved the exercise during its meeting on Thursday. The State Executive Council has on Thursday, 30th November 2023, deliberated and approved the employment of 1,124 health workers, J-Health, in permanent and pensionable engagement. According to Musa, the approval is in line with Governor Umar Namadi administration's commitment to enhance access to affordable health care service across the state. Musa said the council approved 959.2 million naira for the payment of salaries and allowances for the 1,124 health workers. These, he said, include the 924J health workers, 200 medical personnel, 40 medical doctors, 30 pharmacists, and 20 nurses. He listed other beneficiaries to include 20 biological lab scientists, 15 community health workers, 10 dental therapists, 10 physiotherapists, 5 medical imaging, 40 certified nurses and midwives. Others are 10 science laboratory technicians and other relevant fields to deploy to the 281 primary health facilities across the states. A yet-to-be-identified Nigerian nurse in the United Kingdom has been reportedly sacked by the management of a hospital after she was found praying for an elderly patient. The self-acclaimed online doctor, Avi Olufumilayo, disclosed this via his ex-handle as Dr. Olufumilayo on Thursday. Although information cannot verify this claim as the time of this report was filed, the doctor narrated the incident to warn Nigerian doctors moving to the UK not to pray for patients. He also claimed that the Nigerian health workers was further deported for what he believed was unethical for health workers in the UK to bring religion to their work. The ex-user added that it is not customary for nurses to pray for patients, but they can ask for a cleric to carry out any religious services on patients, regardless of whether they want the nurses to do so. Justice Adenike Akepelu of the Kwara State High Court sitting in Ilorin on Thursday sentenced the Serikin Fulani, also known as Abdo El of the Fulani in Kwara State, Alhaji Usman Adamu, his brother, and one Gidado Idris to life imprisonment for conspiracy to kidnap and commission of kidnapping. The case was investigated by the Department of State Services and prosecuted by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions in the State's Ministry of Justice. The DPP, Mr. Ayola Akode, charged this Serikin Fulani and 2 others with the offense of kidnapping one Abubakar Ahmed and collected money of 1 million naira before his eventual release after spending 20 days with them in the bush. The kidnap incident, according to the prosecution, took place between May and June 2022. In adjournment, Justice Akinpelu said the trio were all in agreement to commit the offense, adding that whether they were physically present at the kidnap scene or not was immaterial. She added that the convicts supposedly arrested their victim, claiming that he was a kidnap suspect to extort money from him. The judge said the trio were all in agreement to commit this crime. Akinpelu lamented that it is saddening and disturbing that community leaders charged with the welfare of the subject could, because of the love for money, breach the security of the same subjects. One Mr. Adeolu Ojekemi has petitioned the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Zone 2 Command, Headquarters, Onikon, Lagos, over alleged encroachment on his landed property on Balogo Crescent in the Arepo area of Ogun State. The petition he personally signed and dated November 6th was written against the Olu of Arepo, Oba Solomon Oyebi, and some of his chiefs over alleged forcible entry, malicious damage, threatening violence, and conduct likely to cause breach of peace. In the petition, Ojekomi noted that he bought a half plot of land in 2011 and purchased the remaining half in 2016. He further explained that he had been living on the property since then, until some people started to dig trenches on the land on Thursday, November 3, 2023. As claimed with the information, according to him, one Mr. Raman Ayekoti and others told him that the monarch instructed them to divide the land into two. According to him, they returned on November 3rd with loads of sand, blocks, and granite and started construction. When contacted on Thursday evening for his reaction, Oba Oyebi told correspondent to call him back as he was driving. Calls made to him afterwards were not picked. A text message sent afterwards was not replied to as of the time this report was filed. The tense prosecution witnessed in the trial of Nigerian singer Aziz Fashola, popularly known as Naira Marley, then wife, an investigator with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), revealed to Justice Nicholas Owebo of the Federal High Court in Ikoyi, Lagos on Thursday how Visa, a card payment platform, detected fraudulent transactions linked to one of the credit card details found on singer's device. This was made known in a statement shared by the agency on their X account today. The witness, White, led by prosecution counsel Biliki Subuhari, said as part of the findings from the investigation, forensic analysis revealed that malicious programs used to illegally obtain credit card information were found on the device recovered from the defendant upon his arrest. These programs facilitated card non-present transactions. The investigator also identified tools on the device that disguise the user's active location when connected to the internet. According to the story, the witness disclosed that both the phone and laptop recovered from Naira Marley were registered with his credentials, name, and email addresses. Investigations revealed that the singer exchanged credit card details with other individuals. Notably, one card reported fraudulent usage by Visa. White clarified that the card details on the defendant's device did not belong to him and were not issued by any financial institution. Justice Owebo adjourned the case to March 6 and 7, 2024 for the continuation of the trial. Naira Marley is facing an 11-count charge, including conspiracy and credit card fraud, brought against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Lastly, on sports. The head of the Technical Committee of the Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, Sharif Rabiu Inuwa, said he confronted the head coach of the Super Eagles, Jose Pesero, over his decision to stick with Francis Uzoho as first-choice goalkeeper of the team. Uzoho has been guilty of conceding cheap goals and making costly errors, but he still retains the favor of the Portuguese coach, who is seriously under pressure with the Africa Cup of Nations drawing close. Speaking in a radio interview monitored, the Kano State FA chairman said he had a heated exchange with the coach at their camp in Portugal, where they played against Saudi Arabia and Mozambique respectively. Allen, like he is fondly called, said he was pushed to demand answers from the coach on why he didn't try the other three goalkeepers in camp, instead stuck with the error-prone Uzoho for both games. He said we sat with Pesero at Lisbon and asked why he invited goalkeepers and opted to use Uzoho for the two games without trying other goalkeepers. Uzoho is second choice in his team and he doesn't even play, not to talk of how he performs. We have played several games and he keeps making mistakes, so why use him all the time, he remarked. Asked on if he is aware of Freiburg goalkeeper Noah Tubolu, Allen said he saw it in the news and can only recommend to Pesero, who has the final say on calling all players, but sadly isn't interested because he still holds a very strong faith in Uzoho. With a sports story, we've come to the end of today's national news. Before we go, some headlines. 5 on board as now helicopter crashes in Port Harcourt. Jigawa to recruit 1,124 health workers. Nigeria UK-based nurse reportedly sacked, deported for praying for patients. Kwara Monarch, 2 others bagged life imprisonment for kidnapping. On sports, NFF at loggerhead with Super Eagles coach for turning down Freiburg goalkeeper in favor of Francis Uzoho. For updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is Baba Bagide Imo Television. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagide Imo with Alawi Adibayo. Please like and follow the page. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and function, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen. Thank you for watching. Jumat Mufida. To all faithful Muslims around the world, I am Morire Rabi Lawal. Good afternoon.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.